All right, flattery. Don't charge these batteries pint size.
Yeah. I'll get a fun what you want.
When that line said, right, I was like, oh my god, is that on a real life character or just a video game based character? Yeah.
Yeah, what again?
When she said that line, I was wondering if it's is it just from a gameplay perspective or real life perspective? But we don't have to go into that.
Okay, I was gonna say because I'm not getting the question, still not getting any
Because
questions. But
our last
it's a
time
video game.
it's a video game. So this is probably like, we
Talking
have
about the
to
real person.
yeah, so let's talk about that, like not the real person. We have to I think rebuttal what we said last time. This is not Pixar Animation Studios. This is
No, it's
actually
not.
Walt Disney Animation Studios.
Yes, this is. And I figured it out today when I tried to watch it. I got on Pixar and looked. And I was like, hey, man,
It's not
this
on
ain't
there.
Pixar. But again, Ant's Life is not Pixar either. I mean, is Pixar.
Ant's Life? You mean a Bug's
Yeah,
Life? A Bug's
no,
Life.
A Bug's Life. Yeah, a
Yeah.
Bug's Life. Yeah, but I think we
Yes.
talked about the last time you said, yeah, I thought you told me it wasn't.
Bug's Life
But I
is
could be wrong.
Pixar. No, Bug's Life
Yeah.
Pixar. This one is not.
This is one. This is anime. This is Disney
No,
animation.
this is animation, and I forget about that because
Well, no, I thought
they
it
have
was too.
so
It's
many
Big Hero,
different things.
but this is Big Hero 6 too.
Big Hero 6 also Walt Disney, not
Yeah, it's
Pixar.
also
Yes,
yeah.
it's just they have so many animated movies. It's hard
Well,
to
yeah. Well, this is a great one. This
This
is
is
one
a
not to.
great
This is
one.
not one to miss. I don't care even if you like video games or not. I think this would be one for anybody.
Oh, that's a good point. Like, why did you say that? Because I thought like this would hit like audiences of people who like video games more, like more
Oh, I'll
nostalgic.
think. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you're gonna get more out of it if you like video games and stuff. But I mean, the message is pretty much it's about acceptance and stuff.
Accepting
Trying to
and
find your
bad guy
yeah.
and
Because I
good
mean,
guy.
yeah. Well, anyways, I mean, he's playing a part now. The real villain was King
Pe-
Candy.
People who can't let go, right?
I don't know if
He's a character
that's.
who can't let go. That's why he wants to like, hey, the changes are gonna come. Like you're gonna get replaced,
I
like
don't
whether
think he
you
had.
like it or
I
not.
had no, King Candy had nothing to do with
You
that
don't think so?
change of stuff. Well, I guess in a roundabout way, but mainly he just wanted power. As soon as he wasn't famous or it wasn't in the limelight, he went to another game to get
Oh, see,
fame.
I didn't think it
After
was
he couldn't
a
get,
power
after
thing.
yeah, he wanted to be. He was power. He wanted power because he was all the power. He was like the main thing at the arcade. He was the
Ooh,
big show at the arcade. Everybody
that's a
came to
good.
see his game.
That's a good
And
point
then
because I see it like he wasn't accepted, change it. He's no longer the popular game. Like he's being
yeah,
replaced.
I could say that, but I mean that's the thing. He just kept moving around and being the most powerful person. He didn't even care if he was the most powerful person after that in the video arcade. He just as long as he owned the
So
world they
he's
lived
not
in.
really King Candy. He's Turbo.
Yeah, he's Turbo.
And like, is that a? That's not a real game, right? So technically, they made four games, like in four new games just for this movie. Like
Yeah, I'm
they
gonna say
used a
they
lot of
did.
popular references. I'm surprised that Nintendo let them use Bowser.
Well,
And
they used a lot of little things from Nintendo.
yes,
They didn't use Mario though.
no, they didn't. They just used Bowser because it
But
was
I mean,
the bad
whatever.
guys
But
thing.
everybody let somebody use something. I mean, you got to see the little guy from Dig Dug,
Yes, it was
which
cool
is
to
one of
see
my
him.
favorite
Oh,
games.
I love Dick Duck too.
I love Dig Dug.
I like
I
seeing
s-
him animated. I think like did you think like Pac-Man, Dick Duck, Cooper, and all those characters from the '80s make this like even more lovable for like for
think he
ages like
does.
us, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
if you
so
remember,
cool to
because I mean,
see it.
it was not just them. It's Frogger.
Oh yeah,
Frogger's in the background. There was a whole bunch
there's
of
a whole
characters.
bunch of
Oh
like
yeah, what was
Easter
that?
eggs.
Duel. Was it Duel? No, it's not Duel. I can't remember the name of the game where you get on the ostrich and you fly around.
Oh,
Joust. Remember
Joust,
Joust? He's in
yes,
there. You see him
yes.
walking in the background.
It's all these guys that like. It's kind of like what was that movie? The Ready Player One. It's every
Yeah.
little detail in the
Oh, this
background
was
that
tons
yeah.
of details, and
Oh,
I mean, it was all video game related, because everybody goes into a surge protector, and that's where they
oh, I
change
love how they
shields.
did the Grand Central Station, the Surge Protector.
Yeah,
Oh, that's brilliant video game
yeah,
like
and of course they have rules. I like how they have rules.
Yes.
You know,
They
you can't take anything from one video game to another video game.
Yep, and it's so funny because he kept doing. Well, he didn't keep doing that. They just show you that he got the Pac-Man cherries.
Well, of course he gets. Of course he goes. Oh, this happens to me all the time. And it's
Yes.
like, yeah, because you must be stealing stuff from other games.
And I love, like, you know what? I want to talk about the beginning. Right off the bat, right at the beginning, they mixed Steamboat Willie in 8-bit version.
Oh yeah,
That was all like the start of something great. Just
but
from
I
that
thought
right
that
there.
I thought that was
For me.
in the. I think that's in the opening titles of Big Hero 6 too.
Well, I think because this came out before
Yeah.
Big Hero 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So,
yeah,
like, you know,
that's,
because of the video
that's
game
their,
thing.
yeah, that is their opening for
Yes.
Warner Brothers. I mean, not Warner Brothers. For,
Warner Brothers.
ooh, I know. They're gonna go. Oh, sorry, you can't watch Disney Plus no more.
What just happened?
Walt Disney.
Oh,
Hey,
Walt Disney.
I
yes.
traded one WD for another WD.
Yeah, you did. You made a WD mistake.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the you know, first of all, you see my Wreck-It Ralph back there, right? It's
Yeah.
a pretty
So your
big
big
one.
old Wreck-It Ralph.
And I have these little guys,
oh,
also-
look at there.
and well, I don't like Penelope, and
Yeah.
check this out. They had this at Walmart a while back. I don't know if you knew that. There's a
Wow.
little Fixed It Felix.
I
arcade
didn't
game.
see that one. I got the Dig Dug version of that, but I didn't
Oh,
ever
yeah.
see the. I didn't ever see the Fix It.
Yeah, I got the
just wanna-
Dig Dug one, like the bigger one, but not like this size
Yeah.
cab.
I
But
would
it's
like
so
to have had
cool.
one of those.
Oh, dude, I got two. I got my sister one. I got myself one because I love this movie so much.
I just want to play
Like,
the game.
It works in everything. See?
Oh, I know it does. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I would like to play that game.
Oh, it's. Well, you probably could play it if you download like a ROM version.
Oh, that game don't work.
No, this game works on here. But
Okay,
I think
well, I
it's-
want to play. I want to play it on there.
Oh, yeah, this is awesome because you get the little joystick and the buttons. You know.
Exactly.
I love how they one of the first things for me, right, is they were able to replicate like an old 80s game into, like, you know, animations. Like, hey, this
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
this
Oh,
came
yeah.
from
I
the
like it.
80s.
Oh, but that's the best thing because it starts off. You're looking at the girl plays a video game. It's all the animation we're used to. It looks like Pixar's information. Anyways,
Yes.
computer animated. We got used to. She goes to the arcade and she's playing a video game. It looks like video game animation that we see. But as soon as they turn away and the camera goes back to their world, it turns into
Yeah, smooth.
the regular animation.
Yes, the one that we get used to today.
Yeah. Which, of course, this game kind of reminds me of Rampage.
Yes, it does.
You know, Rampage, where you jump
Yes.
off the walls and bust all the
It's
deals.
this kind of platforming, but it's the opposite of Rampage. Like, someone is doing the destruction, and
Yeah.
then you gotta fix it.
Yeah, so you destroy, somebody comes to fix it. Which, in a way, though, you kind of think, Wreck-It Ralph he plays the villain, but he's not a villain.
Yes.
But that's the same thing with all the people because it shows a meeting, which I always wondered what that little box actually really looked like. That's in the Pac-Man game. Where
yes.
Pac-Man comes out, all
Yes.
these stars. It's just an empty room.
It's it's an empty room where they have group meetings.
They have group meetings.
Where
all
they
the
reflect
villains.
on, all the villains.
Yeah, like it goes. I didn't know it's Satan. He goes Satine.
Yes, that team. You know what's really crazy? Like, they have like 2 Street Fighter guys in, like, obviously, you know, M. Bison in America. But then they have Zangief in there, and I'm like, why is he a bad guy? Or is it because he's from the USSR?
Well, yeah. Sure.
It's like, I just thought of that, like, why is Zangief a bad guy? And then they have Kano from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, heck, I
Yeah.
saw that. It had a lot of people. Plus, it has a ghost from Pac-Man, obviously.
Yeah, the Ghost was the host
since
of
it's
the,
since it's his game.
yes. I thought everything was written in perfectly, like as I was mentioning before.
Well,
like,
it's got a ninja in there. Did you know they sell the ninja? I think that's
Yeah, I
Ninja
didn't know
Gaiden.
you think
I'm
so?
gonna go with Ninja Gaiden. But
You say Gaiden, I say Gaiden. That's interesting.
you say Gaiden?
I said, well, before I say Ninja Gaiden,
Oh,
but I think it's pronounced
Ninja
Ninja Gaiden because it's G-A-I.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm just saying what it was when I was a kid.
Oh,
You said
okay.
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, it's
Everybody's
just
like,
what you
let's
remember
play
as
it.
a kid.
Everybody was gonna play that.
But I do like the 4 original they came up with, you know, Fix It Felix Jr., Sugar Rush, which is just an easy.
Oh, I love Sugar Rush.
Yeah, it's
I
an
even bought
easy
the sound.
game.
I even bought the soundtrack just to get that song.
Really?
Yeah, I love that song.
Which song? The Rihanna one or?
Oh, the Rihanna one's good. No, the
Yeah.
Sugar Rush. Sugar Rush.
Oh,
That
See,
song.
I love
it's
that
all in
because, like,
Japanese.
the go kart is a big genre, like ever since Mario Kart. So that was
Yeah.
easy to do. And then Hero's Duty, where the
Yeah,
lady
shooter up.
comes, and what was the other? Turbo. whatever game that Turbo was on,
Well, originally he just came from an old racing
like an
game that
old
sucked
racing
back
game. Yeah.
when we played those. Yeah, it's like this
Yes.
suck because even that because remember he jumps into another video game, so they had to make the game he jumped into and ruined too.
Yes, and Ruin too. Like
Yeah, because you had that game across him.
just the whole writing of this, like you would never thought King Candy was the bad guy, and I love how they used all the elements of video game glitches, how bad guys respawn, right? Like that's why they have to make sense. Like, well,
Yeah,
they answered
well,
the
I
question.
like it
If
though.
you
I like
game
it
jump, how like what if you die? Like, oh, you don't get to come back because you're
exactly
not
because remember,
programmed into that game.
yeah, because remember it gives you a public announcement from Sonic the
From
Hedgehog.
Sonic the
Please
Hedgehog.
remember, if you die in this one, you really die.
Yes, it's such a big speaking part because then Sega only have like IP, so they're
Yeah,
try to get
but
good
they had other
public
game. I mean, we
stuff.
got to see Pac-Man game, which we all played.
Oh, I still play Pac-Man on my other
Actually,
channel.
have you ever played the what was that? What was that beer? Where was the root
Tapper.
beer? Tapper. You ever play Tapper?
Yes, it's a
Okay,
dual joystick. I remember.
I don't remember if I played Tapper,
Yeah,
but I have seen Tapper.
yeah, Tapper. Yep. Because they also show back in the day like this is one thing like the quarters, right? Like you only have 10 quarters. So you want to make sure like I want to play my favorite game. So even though I want to try Tapper, but
Why
if
do
I
you only
waste
have
that
10?
quarter,
Why do you only have
no,
10
I'm
quarters?
just talking about like an example.
Oh,
Like
okay,
if you have a
cool.
limited amount of quarters, you want to make sure
Well,
like
some people weren't
yeah.
limited, so
But yeah, but I'm just saying like because they all saw these popular games, even though it was there with you back in the day, right? You might never get to play it because you gotta save your money to play
yeah, oh
whatever you
yeah,
wanted to
you're right.
play.
'Cause, well, the thing is, a lot of video games. You got to remember when we went to the arcades is tokens.
Yeah.
You bought
Oh,
tokens instead.
tokens is a little bit newer. I still remember when you had to put quarters in machines.
Oh well, the tokens were like quarters, but the problem is, you let's say I gave you $5, I get $5 worth of tokens.
Yes.
The tokens are you don't get anything. If you don't use all your tokens, then you walk out with missing money.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Say,
I thought it was really good when they had to make you kind of like when they did the token thing.
yeah,
But
the
in
token
this
thing
movie,
was
they did the
basically
quarter
used
thing.
just like quarters. Yeah, because this was an arcade, it took quarters. But
Yes. Okay.
you
That
know, a
takes
lot of the places
quarters.
where you went to eat pizza and stuff, or went to birthday
Oh
parties,
yeah, like
most of those places always take tokens, and then
they
you had to
take
buy the
tokens. Yeah.
tokens. And the problem is, it's not like quarters. You know, if you don't use all your quarters, you can take it home, you spend it on something else. But no,
Yes.
not tokens. You just got a jar full of tokens, and it ain't
You
worth
gotta
crap.
spend it there. Yep.
It's like what? Some of your games suck,
So
or somebody's always at the good games.
it does remind me of a good old time because I played a lot of arcade games back in like comic book stores, and then when I moved to Texas, right, my family live in a townhouse, and right across the street is like a video game rental store, and they had their own arcade room, and
Wow.
I lived across from that. It was awesome. It was the first
Yeah.
time I ever played Mortal Kombat, and
Wow.
yeah, it was
First time I ever played Mortal Kombat was on Sega Genesis.
oh, so you get to play it at home though, because your brother had it.
Yeah, he bought
Yeah.
Sega Genesis just to play Mortal
Like that
Kombat.
video store had that big screen, and like it was the first time we ever seen Mortal Kombat because we came from playing Street Fighter 2, right? So when we saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like real people and things like that, and then you could do fatalities. That was before the time where
Yeah.
like before the internet, right? You gotta know how to do these moves by reading
Yeah.
magazines.
Well, that's all it. But some of because this even introduces that one everybody knows the what's it, the Konami code,
Oh, I
down
love
down,
that.
left right,
Dude,
A
when they
B A.
did that, they knew exactly they're gonna use that on like, oh,
Yeah, I was like,
to
yeah,
look at the memory bank. Yes,
yeah. You
the
use the Konami
famous
code on so
Kalani
many
code.
games. Yeah, almost everything you on. That's the first thing you got when you got a Nintendo game and you couldn't win. You used the Konami code to see if you
Yes,
get anything.
yes, but it's so funny because before it didn't know it was a Kalami code until like now, right? Because from Contra, it was the creator.
Yeah,
It was a guy who worked
Contra.
at Kalami. Like, hey, I want to be able to. I could play all the games too. So you guys need to mix something. So you make sure that I can beat this all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it went around, and everybody at schools, hey, here's the code. Use this code, and then you learn you could use that code on lots of
Yeah,
games.
on lots of games because it's mostly Kalami products. But
Oh
us
no,
as kids
Konami
back then,
wasn't that big. Yeah.
no, it was only for Kalami products. That's why I work on the
Sure.
Turtles. Yes, it's built into the Kalami stuff. Mostly it's Kalami stuff. If we work for another company, right, like another game, it's probably because they either just copied it, it's because it's so well known.
Yeah,
Because I think
maybe
another
so.
game that worked is probably River City Ransom, but then it didn't give you like the like 30 lives or like unlimited
Yeah.
what continues or something like that.
Yeah, I know it worked on quite a few games, but I didn't think they were all Konami.
No, they're not all Konami, but most of them is the
Yeah.
famous Konami.
Well, of course, you also had Ultra Games, which was Konami,
Yes, Ultra Games Konami. Yes.
which was the first Ninja Turtles, which was so difficult. You're like, what? I remember you got it for my birthday, and I was like, all right.
and,
Couldn't get it. I was like, this is a horrible game.
and you can't
It's
pass
fun.
stage 2.
Yeah, you could get it this next stage. It wasn't because all this one little deal. I'm like, oh my god,
The
this is
swimming,
horrible.
right? The swimming deal. Like
I think I remember swimming, or if it was the one where you had to jump, and it was like you had to jump. You had to be this right spot to jump, or you hit your head every time.
Oh yes.
It's like, oh god, I hate this game.
That is so funny. Oh, the other thing I like is when the arcade closes, right? They actually wrote into the little thing where all the games like, okay, we gotta do this so that way for the next day we know what the setup is too. Like they did it in Candy Crush when they show like, hey, if we do the race now, so
Oh yeah,
I love that.
well, because Candy Crush was supposed to show you different players every time you sit up there to play.
Yes, that's brilliant because people are like, oh, they just a randomizer that the program uses, right?
Yeah,
But
no,
they
it's
put a
another
little
random.
story
They
around
actually compete. Yeah, they actually compete for the
Oh,
places. Which I'd love to go to Candy Crush Land. I'd eat all kinds of crap. I'd
oh
be
man,
sick.
that is such a brilliant idea, right? I wonder
I
how
know,
many
especially
drafts
watching
they went
watching
through.
the donut cops. I was like, man, I want a
That
donut.
is so funny.
I want a
They make
donut
the
and
cup
eclair.
donuts.
Yeah, one cop's a donut, the other one's eclair. I was
Because
like,
like
man, I
instead
want
of
a donut.
candy, right? They just put sugar rush so they can put all kinds of sweets
Yeah,
and
because I
treats
mean, come on,
there.
they drop a cupcake on him.
I like the sour candy. He's always
Mentos,
sour like
Mentos. They have Mentos and a Dr Pepper.
Oh yes, that was brilliant.
That was brilliant marketing right there.
We'll also have to mention this movie came out in 2012. It's an 11-year-old movie, and I still enjoy very much to this day.
I can't remember when I saw it. I know I saw it on your recommendation.
Oh yeah, because
but I didn't see it in theater or anything.
I did not see it in theater. I wish I would have.
I wish I would have too, but I didn't. I missed the second one because there is a sequel to this for anybody.
So my wife asked me like, "Hey, you guys gonna do this, right? Are you guys gonna do the second one? Like, the second one won't hit our nostalgia as well as this one did."
Yeah, but I would like to hit the second one.
Yeah, or the second.
Because I haven't seen the second.
Good.
I still haven't even seen the second one yet.
Because like how they did the video games, like what we can see, right? Like the whole video game world, like it's kind of like this is exactly like Toy Story. When the lights are out, when the humans are out, what happened to?
Yeah, this is exactly. This is like Toy Story. So this is somebody else's take on Toy Story, but it happens to not go through Pixar.
Yes, it's just video. It's just video games.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of jokes. I mean, it's pretty funny, especially when because especially the one you won't hit a man with glasses. So Ralph takes his glasses and hits him with it. And he goes,
"That's very Batman."
Yeah. Well, it's not because everybody always does. They've always done that joke. You won't hit a man with glasses, and somebody always punches. Yes. Calls out puncher. Instead, he hits him with his glasses.
With his glasses.
But I also like that joke because remember you said, "Hey, I wouldn't give him a flying handshake."
Yes.
Because she goes, "Oh, I don't give a fun" or something. I can't remember what she says. Oh, what the fun do you think you're doing? Yeah, I think she said like, "What the fun do you think you're doing?"
Yes. I also like the part where they talk about the video game characters, right? It's the 30th anniversary of Lexi Felix Jr. And when he goes to the party, right? That character, Gene, always cracks me up. When he's like, "What are you doing here, Ralph?" "Well, it is the 30-year anniversary of the game, and I'm a big part of the game, right?" Like, Felix and Ralph is the biggest part of the game. And he asked me, like, "What are you doing here, Gene?"
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know why that was so funny to me because, like,
it's funny.
It makes so much sense.
Because Gene's the one telling everybody what to do. He acts like he's his game in a way, and then of course he hates Ralph. And Ralph has nothing. Ralph it's his job to be the bad guy.
Yeah,
and all these people hate him though. Yeah. I'm like, but in a way, he had every right to leave because as soon as he leaves, they realize. Yeah, well, there's the game right there. Work.
Like I love that because all the other background characters, like the people in the building, if they're not there, right, the game can still go on. Yeah. Right, like the
exactly.
Yeah. I love
nobody
that.
knows those characters in the game. So
yeah, nobody. I like that they have names. It's kind of like Pac-Man, right? It's like Blinky, Clyde, and then Pinky and Blue. I can't remember all the Pac-Man ghosts.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the
Pac-Man
have
names
ghosts.
Though. I love
that.
Yeah,
I don't think they always had names though.
Yeah.
No,
it was back in the 80s.
Oh, did they?
No, they
Well, did
didn't come
they? I don't
later.
think that. I don't think. I thought they did come later.
I don't think so. I think they're like because back then there was nothing to write the get names, right? But the creator of Pac-Man did give
Yeah.
them names. It's
Okay.
just
Well,
that
they probably
nobody
put it on
knew
the
them
arcade
until
cabinet.
later. Yeah, they never put on a because why would you need to know the names, right? Like the names was
Well,
like
I think
important.
they did because how did we know the names?
Actually, if you because a lot of people don't look at the, I don't want to say credits, like those
Okay,
cutscenes, right?
that's where I saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
it's just a
cutscene
little ghost and it puts the
because
name on it.
like,
Okay.
like remember how long you just standing there without playing the game? Like you just put the quarter in, you want to start right away.
No, I always stand
Look at
there.
that.
I
What?
always walk up to the screen and watch it to see if I even want to put her in there.
Oh, just see, like a lot of times
Yeah, I
just
like to
because
watch the
people
game
play.
play to see if hey, do I want to do this or not?
Oh, that's why like arcades is such a big thing for me. That's why I still have that arcade one of Street Fighter, even though I haven't turned it on in a while.
Yeah,
Because I got it
don't
like,
play it anymore.
because well, I don't play it on that one. I've
Oh,
there's a control deck you can get, and you can put on
yeah,
any TV. So I rather play on
yeah.
a bigger screen, and I
Go
just
play
stand
at
up
the
on the screen.
arcade. I would stand up and play at the arcade just like the old
Oh,
time. Just
but
then, uh,
now they have
I don't
places
know what to
called
say about Mister. I'm gonna sit in my
Nickelmania.
reclining chair and watch my big TV with my console, pretend I'm at the arcade. I'm like, that's not the way the arcade works.
I set up a projector now, so my like one of the
Yeah, I
rooms in
know.
the house, like it's like a movie theater. Is awesome.
I'm ashamed. It's a shame. Shame. Even though it's cool, I'm still ashamed of you playing a video game on there.
Oh,
When you have a perfectly good one you can stand at and remember the old days
hey, you know what? Because we're not that young anymore. How long can you stand, really?
all day.
You can stand, well, because your job stands all day.
Yeah, I stand all
Actually, I
day.
can. I just don't want to. But you know what? Like, I also like the in the movie they like, that girl, right? She was the one who found out that Wreck-It Ralph was something wrong because Ralph is gone, and she was going to play Candy Crush, so she
Oh,
put the
okay.
quarter on the thing. It's just like I don't even know
Oh
when
yeah.
that rule came by, but when I first saw that, like, oh, that's how you get next. You just put the quarter
Yeah.
on there,
That don't
like,
make any sense though. You put a quarter on there and then it's like, well, you better be there or somebody else gonna take your quarter and play your
well,
game.
it's basically you stand in line anyway, right? Like a lot
Oh,
of
okay.
people,
A lot of people always
a
stood
lot
in
of people
line.
just stood.
I never saw the quarter sticking the quarter up on
Oh,
the
really?
deal.
I did.
I've heard of it, but I've
I
never
came
seen
from
it.
that way you put the quarter on the screen, because, well, I guess from where I am, right? Like a lot of people do just stand there and watch. We don't know if anybody's playing. So what you do is people will always see the person that placed the quarter there. I learned that while I was in Texas.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? In New York too, because I played
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2 in New York, and then I moved here, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's a universal thing. People just put quarters there.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I didn't spend a lot of time in the arcade.
Yeah.
I was lucky if I ever got to go to
Well,
arcade.
I was going to ask you because you're from a small town in Texas, right? Like,
Yeah.
where
Oh, I
which
mean,
like besides I guess pizza places?
well, they had an arcade in Abilene.
Oh, they do. Like, is it
Yeah,
with a
not a
mall?
big. It was in the mall. It was a little one. And then mainly, if my cousins have birthdays, they always had a pizza place. You go play at a pizza place,
I play
and
a
then of
lot of a
course
pizza
you'd
place.
always find that rare arcade at like a certain at a place like Rampage. I like Rampage because one of the places I used to go to only had a Rampage. I love
Uh,
Dig Dug because in San Angelo we'd always go to Taco Bueno.
yeah.
All they had was a Dig Dug, so
They have
you
a
stood there
dig
and
dug at
played.
a Taco Bueno.
Yeah, man, that's how.
Wow.
I mean, most of the restaurants like Taco Bueno's always had a little game room in them.
Really?
Maybe had maybe two arcades in them.
You know, what
Two arcade
one of the
cabinets.
rarest place I found an arcade, right? I was when we were living in Garland at the time. Big knock up to Zombieland. I was living in Garland, right? And there was a grocery store called Second Safe. Do you remember that store? It's a store, grocery. I don't know if they have it in your part of Texas, but
Oh, I know. I've heard of it. I don't remember. I don't remember the one in Garland.
oh, so it was well, maybe no, it was in Garland. It was right by Neiman Forest High School, but the Second Safe had a Street Fighter 2 Championship edition.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, that was an
Yeah.
arcade game. Yeah, right by the sodas.
I can't ever. I don't know what I played in. I've been in Garland. I played some stuff there. I mean,
Yeah,
actually, I think
it's so funny to see an arcade at a grocery store or like I
no, because
remember
at our grocery stores, I think we had an arcade here
in
at
a
one of the
grocery
grocery
store.
stores. Maybe like one or two.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
really cool.
that's the only place. I mean, anywhere that you would go to see, like those little things you put quarters in to get the little junk toys out of or
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yes,
They
yes.
usually always had at least one arcade.
Yeah, like so one arcade. Sometimes they don't. It sucks, but they always have those like the little
Yeah, a lot of
junk toy
stores because it
stuff.
seemed like Kmart may have had one. That I went and saw. I know,
Yes.
like I said, Taco Bueno had one. Seemed like some other places you go. I think
So
one of our grocery stores had one.
were you one of those that, like, when I was a kid, right? I really wanted an arcade cabinet. Like,
Oh
it's one of
yes.
those things that you want
And
to buy.
who doesn't? Well, I still want an
I
arcade
so
cabinet.
which one would you buy? Like,
Oh man,
because
that's a big
I
deal
know
because they cost so much.
they
Which one
cost
would
so
you
much
get?
and it's so big. Like, which one would
See,
you get?
you can't really see it on camera. I got the little Dig Dug one. Dig Dug
Oh, I
is a
do see
favorite.
it.
Dig
Yes.
Dug's a favorite of mine. Dig Dug may be what I would get.
Hey, so
I mean,
that
but
version you have there, Shane? Hold on before
yeah,
you go on. So I have that one too. I have Dig Dug, I have Gattaca, I have Burger Time, I have Pac-Man.
yeah. I didn't get all. I should have got them all. I mean,
Oh,
I guess if somebody goes, "Hey, gave me a good deal," I wouldn't really matter to me what
oh,
arcade cabinet because I'd almost take anything.
yeah,
Actually, I would. I'd almost take anything because, I mean, what are you going to do? I got this much money. I mean, I would like Dig
yes,
Dug. I mean, Pac Man. I like Pac Man, but I can only play so much Pac Man.
yeah, because it's very
You know,
repetitive.
okay, let's say, oh yeah, the skating ring in Winters. We had a skating ring here.
Oh, okay, yeah, Skater Wings, another place that have arcades.
They had arcade. They had
Yes.
several of them. The one I've sat at and played the most when I went there was Spy Hunter
Oh, Spy Hunter
and
is a good
Joust
game.
and Joust.
I don't play Joust that much, but I know of it because
Joust was hard, but
yeah.
I got better at it and I enjoyed it. Man, I remember I did see a Cubert once, but
Oh.
I never around here. But yeah, Spy Hunter. Remember Spy Hunter?
Yes,
Spy Hunter was
I
always a
do
good
remember
one.
Spy. I think I played on the Commodore 64 also. My cousin.
Oh yes, I did too.
Yeah.
I played almost everything. Russian Attack, Commodore 64. You played everything because
Yeah.
my grandma had one, so we played like karate. There was a game called karate.
Yes, or Karatea or something. Yeah, I do remember.
No, this one was just called
It's
karate.
karate.
Straight up karate. Yeah, I mean it was just a ripoff. I'm sure this game was made several different ways because I remember this game was on Nintendo.
Oh,
And I think it had a different name because see the same thing was Russian Attack. I think it was called Russian Attack, but I played another thing. It looked exactly the same. I think it was called Green Beret or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they took these games and they just gave them different names constantly. But yeah, that was at the arcade. I played those. So basically, almost anything.
So it's Dig Dug, but definitely Dig Dug.
Dig Dug, I'm a lover. You know what I would like if I had to spend the money, and I'm going to spend the money. I just thought of it. It'd be either 1941 or one of my favorites, Gunsmoke.
Oh, that's good.
Because Gunsmoke would even Gunsmoke is there'd be more because Dig Dug only has so much, only so many levels. It just speeds up.
Yeah,
puts more rocks in there, puts more monsters. It never really changes. But Gunsmoke, you go through several different cities. I mean, you get to the end of the game. I would actually pick Gunsmoke because I think I would sit there and get more out
1941 is also a good choice.
1941 is.
We shoot this on Saturday, right? I actually play a little bit of 1943 yesterday.
Oh, did you?
I did.
I think it was. It is 1941, right?
There's 1941. I think it started with 1942, 43.
Okay, it's 42 then. That's
it's 42
I can't remember
is the
the
first
name.
one. Because my cousin had that on the Nintendo. Then I play it on the arcade.
Oh, I played it. And because, there's a lot of games from Nintendo, like the Jackal. Did you ever play Jackal? Oh, Jackal's awesome.
Yeah.
Jackal. I mean, there were so many video games that I would take.
Oh, I would too, yeah.
But I think Gunsmoke, I would get a lot out of Gunsmoke.
Oh, Gunsmoke is good. Like, the reason why I got Street Fighter 2 is because if I had money, I would buy Street Fighter 2, like the actual cabinet.
Yeah, I was never into the fighting games really.
Oh, I was really
because I remember Street Fighter and the movie, and they even made a movie on it and stuff.
Yeah,
I was really never into Street Fighter though.
Oh, I do love Street Fighter 2. It's probably because that's the one that, like, when I was getting good at video games, like at 10 or 11, that's when that game came out.
The funny thing is, I say that I wasn't into fighting games. I think my brother kind of liked them, so. I mean, when we went to go rent Nintendo games, we rented Double Dragon a lot.
Oh, Double Dragon!
And then of course, we played all the Double Dragons. I mean,
on Nintendo, right?
Yes, on Nintendo. So you're almost doing always double. And then of course, there's all the ripoffs,
Yes, like the generic, like not.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say a ripoff, but to me, what's that? River City Brawl.
River City Ransom.
River City Ransom to me was a ripoff of Double Dragon.
Renegade, it would be a ripoff.
Renegade. And what was that other one? There was a lot of Data East.
Yeah, Data East.
Data East. It's like whatever.
There's a lot of the same genre. It's kind of like when Mario Kart came out, right? It was the first of its kind. But then after that, so many other genres make their own go-kart games.
Yeah, we're right. Well, yeah, or racing games. Most of the racing games were like that after that. all the silly cartoonish weapons and stuff.
Yes, but Mario Kart is still
Basically, it
going
was
strong. I love Mario
basically it
Kart.
was sugar. Yeah, basically it was Sugar
It's
Rush all over
basically
again.
Sugar Rush, and I like that it's all like it's very girl based in Sugar Rush.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It was kind of a
but if
chick
you
game
think
because
about
remember
it,
that line? I like it when he sees King Candy. He goes, "You sure you look pink, don't you?" He
oh
goes, "It's
yes,
salmon. It's
because
salmon."
yeah, it's so funny because like that should have hit you off like one of it's kind of like the Sesame Street thing. One of these things are not like the other. Everything is female, right? Except for the cops and the sour
Oh yeah,
thing.
now you make it. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, he's a
it's
candy. He's
I
candy though. He
know.
don't count because they have all the candy fans. But yeah, almost all the races were women, weren't they?
Yeah, well, a woman. They're all
And
girls.
all of them they had a king.
They had a king, which is weird because like, well, shouldn't it be a
Well,
princess?
I think
No,
if I
I didn't
wanted to
even
be,
think about that until
yeah, it
now.
was supposed, and it turned out it was supposed to be a queen
Yes.
or a princess. Yeah, but hey, if I was the king, I'd like to have nothing but women in my kingdom.
this is this is a
I
different fantasy
know
we're talking
that
about.
is just wrong. I know it's just wrong, and that's good. That's why I said it.
Oh, so
Who wouldn't? Unless you're
I like the well, I want to talk about the other games now because we talk about Wreck-It Ralph, like the '80s, or the games that
yeah.
brought us back. Heroes Duty, right? I love that they have a
I
new
love that
game
joke.
genre, the
Heroes
first-person
what?
shooter.
Heroes what?
Heroes Duty, yes.
what? What kind of game is that? Is that about wiping?
I do like it because like not just the first person view, right? But like it's when they get inside the game, how the other video game character sees the first player.
Yeah, I like
Because it
it
was like
because you got
a drawing, like,
yeah,
oh, this is so cool how they made
yeah.
that
That's
up.
funny. It's just a screen. Yeah, it's just
It's
a
just a
screen.
screen like Wally or number 5 walking around with those
Yeah,
treads. It is
yeah. It's
so
just
cool.
yeah. That was pretty funny.
I really liked that how Ralph was freaking out in the game. Like, wow, when the video game gets so violent.
Well, it wasn't just him, remember? Because the guy he stole the suit from was all, "Oh no, this is
Oh
horrible."
yeah, I know. I loved how they put Wachowski on there. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
Wachowski.
yeah.
And I did like my favorite game of all time, as you know, is Metal Gear Solid, and they gave a little tribute in this movie.
Oh yeah, with
There
the
was that
exclamation point.
I
It made the
loved that
noise.
so much because like they had nothing on that except for that little thing, and I'm like, that
Yeah,
just made my day. Every
because
time I see
it was never arcade though, right?
No, it's not. That was why it was so cool. It's never
Which is
arcade
funny.
game, but
That's
they did
the
it.
thing is the first Nintendo game I bought was Metal Gear.
Yes, you said that before. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not that good of a game on the Nintendo,
actually,
but it's
it's so difficult. That's the only
it
reason
is.
it's not. Oh, it's a good game. I'm gonna say
It's
it's
a
a good
great
game.
game
The
now.
problem is you got to get. There's only one spot near. It's like a lot of games. If you can get past this one point, it's almost impossible to get past this one point. You almost gotta get codes to play Metal Gear.
It's one of those
But once
first
you get past
games
that one point, that game is actually a pretty good game.
because it's one of the games that is strictly strategizing.
Yeah, well,
Like
I
they never
loved it
had a
because
really game like that before.
well, I liked it because you could change from pistol to machine gun. You
Yes,
had all
there's
these
so
little
many
parts and
options.
stuff. To me, that was amazing. I was like, huh, you can't do that to arcades. You couldn't
No,
do that
you
on a
can't.
Commodore 64.
No. And that's really cool. Like, well, talking about like that wasn't an arcade game. Super Mario Brothers, right? Is actually made into an arcade game later, I believe. There's an arcade version of Super Mario Brothers.
Well, you got to remember there was Super Mario Brothers made for Atari.
You mean like the plumbing game, not the Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers?
Well, it's called Mario Brothers.
Yeah, Mario Brothers. Yes.
But I mean, eventually made Super. But it's Mario Brothers, and of course, Donkey Kong was into the Mario Brothers world too, and it's
Yes.
arcade. So technically, Nintendo's for America was arcade first.
Yeah, arcade first. Yeah, before they made the home console.
And then they came to Super, and then yeah, you're right, they did put it on the deal. And plus, didn't they put what was it, the second or the third one when they introduced it? They made the arcade first for people who could see it or play it.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know
Okay, I
about
thought
that
they
part.
stuck it on arcade first. People could get a sneak preview on it.
I'm just happy a lot of times when like when you say Double Dragon, right? The first time I played Double Dragon, it wasn't on the Nintendo. It was on the arcade, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like a beat 'em up. But when they did, I really appreciate when they like poured it on the Nintendo, like the Double Dragon, is a completely different game. It's
Oh,
not
is
like,
it?
yeah, it's not mirrored exactly like the arcade. Like the only way that you could play the arcade version at home, right, was I think it's either on the Sega Master System, which it didn't do so well. It had like
Oh,
less than half of the library of games on the Nintendo system. And
yeah.
then the Sega Genesis, when they did Double Dragon, they did it like an actual arcade port. The Nintendo one was the first time I seen something where like they didn't try to make it look exactly like the arcade.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never played it any other way. So.
Yeah, yeah, because I played other way like and also Ninja Gaiden. I played Ninja Gaiden when I was like 6 or
Well, yeah. Oh,
7.
who didn't? That was
Yeah,
that was an
on
awesome
the
game.
arcade though. So, but
Oh,
it
I never
was
played it in arcade. I never saw it in
it's
arcade. I
also
only played it in
very
Nintendo.
different on the Nintendo, and I appreciate
Okay.
that like they made a whole different thing. Like it's the same game, same character, but how you play is totally different experience than the arcade. Because the arcade one is kind of like a beat 'em up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I only played a few times. That's something I would wish I can go back and just so beat it. Because you could use emulators, you could beat the whole game easily.
Yeah.
And one of the other games I love as an arcade, I don't know if you played it, is RoboCop.
So I think I'm pretty sure I played it because it had the machine guns up on the deal.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I played the Terminator one too eventually because they had a Terminator with the machine guns setting up on the.
The mobile cop wasn't like that. Mobile cop was sky scrolling. It's not the
Oh, okay.
shooting
I'm
one.
sure I did because I played X-Men on the arcade,
Oh,
which was
X-Men was
amazing.
beat 'em up.
Yeah, and eventually they put it on the.
That's the first.
Well, they had
arcade
Captain
game I beat.
America. They had Captain America in the
And the
Avengers
Avengers,
too.
yes.
Eventually, they put that on Nintendo and so forth.
They put it on Super Nintendo, yeah.
Oh, Super Nintendo.
That is
Okay,
a
they put it on one of the
hard game.
arcades. That's a hard game, but it was a quarter waster.
Oh, it definitely called it that. I think that's why they did that because like on RoboCop, I actually beat that game myself because like, hey, I remember as a kid I played RoboCop, so I want to beat it. Like, oh my gosh, that game is difficult. I don't know how anybody is able to not get hit, and then someone did it. I was just watching.
Yeah, that was.
through
I think
YouTube.
that was a Data East game too.
Yeah, always the Data East game. Yes, that's
Yeah.
manufactured by Data East.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I remember. I'm pretty sure I played it.
Oh yes, I did like the but like you know what I also like when some of the animation they did, they kind of, even though it's like high def, like how we get used to animation now, right? When the kick splatter, it had a little hint of pixelating. Did you notice that on the kick? It's
I
like
didn't
some
know
of the
that.
like square instead of like smooth edge round. It's like
Yeah.
a square, like almost like a square digitized really well. So like, oh, that was pretty cool. I did like how the kick looked. It's the building and all of us at the top. Yeah, look at all of us with the medal.
Yeah. No, it was pretty fan. I mean, it was pretty. Even when they did the interior, though, even after it was pixelated,
Yes.
you went in the interior. They still had the little square cutouts.
Yeah, it's a square cutout.
Plus, all the furniture reflected video game.
Yes.
Everything was in squares or pixels.
Yeah, I love that
something.
square. Like it's perfectly square. That's how we used to know the stuff.
Yeah,
Man, I'm
that
telling
was
you.
pretty interesting.
I was telling Cody probably a couple of years now. You know how video games, like, when we came into like PS2, right? From PS2 to PS3, it went high def, but it's through a different generation. But for the original Nintendo, right? From Mario 1 to Mario 3, the graphic improved significantly.
Yeah.
But within the same machine.
Yeah, the same machine.
Like, you don't see anything like that now. Like, even in the
No,
Xbox.
well, they realized, we're losing money. Why don't we just start making new
start
machines?
a new machine, right? Like, oh.
That's the sad thing, because now we know we probably don't ever need a new machine now.
No, because that's nothing like...
They just tell you, hey, you need a new machine.
Yeah, because like after 1080p, right? Do you really need to play games in 4K? No.
No,
That just
really.
makes it harder on the CPU and the GPU. Why would you want to do that? Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny when there's people arguing like, "Oh, PC is better than console." Yeah, but is your PC better than a console? They use the iRobot meme. It's so funny. It's Will Smith like, "Oh, PC is better than console," and then Sunny on the other side saying, "Is your PC better than a console?" And then the Will Smith face.
Yeah,
Because we said that to Cody before, and Cody
my
is
PCs were never.
yeah,
my PCs
would never be better
because you
than
gotta have
like
that kind of
PS5.
money. Because you don't have that kind of money.
Because like I told Heather, right, like if a PS5 or the new Xbox is $500, wow, that's a lot of money. But then if you get a PC, you can play all these games too. Yeah, but then the graphic card can cost you $1,200.
Yeah,
And
well, that's the thing.
Just for the graphic card, you don't have everything else.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because remember when you buy a console, you played everything that was on that console.
Yeah.
when you went to the store, if you had I like to play games on the computer. I was in that for a little bit. The problem is you had to get the box of the computer and look at
Yeah.
it to make sure you had all the stuff. And then
Oh,
you're
the
asking yourself,
specs. Yes.
do I have that? Do I have
Oh,
that? And then depending on how much you wanted that game, you're that I'll risk it because I
the
wanted to play the game. Then you
minimum
got home
requirements. Yeah.
and there was something you had to go buy to put on that computer
Yes.
because it's like, oh, can't
It
play it.
it lags and it like
Yeah,
sprites
because
really bad.
I remember there was like several games. I had like sometimes I'd have 3 or 5 games sitting around that I never got to play until I got a better computer.
Oh,
And then
those
I played them. And then by the time I played, I was like, man, I waited for that.
those were the days where like the minimum requirements is what
But
always
yeah,
gets you.
but I remember at that time though, I remember when after Nintendo, like I played some games on the computer, they were better than what you could buy on a console for a little while.
They were oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there were some games that was just better on the computer than console. The problem is not your computer couldn't play all of those.
No, your computer can process, and then your computer don't have the space. It's like
Yeah,
when you
depending
play
on
one game, then you gotta delete all of
yeah,
that just to install another
yeah,
game.
exactly. I always had to get rid of stuff just to play another game. I was like, man, this
Yep.
sucks.
I remember like when me and my sister would play like Day of the Tentacle, right? Like, oh, we have to, both of us have to finish this game all the way through. Then we could play The Secret of Monkey Island. It's not like we can
Oh, that sucks.
sometimes work on this one and then sometimes work on
Secret
that.
of Monkey Island.
Yeah, I think it's called The Secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think there were several, but I played that.
Yeah, see, yeah,
Yeah.
because like I really like those point and click adventure games.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah,
I
I did
those.
too. It's so like because it's not like I have to be like a detective.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then
yeah.
on a
I love
console
those
game,
games.
it's just so easy because
Yeah,
back in the
I mean,
day,
because
you
eventually
just
you get
pop it
tired.
in.
I mean, the thing is, side scrollers you get tired of eventually, because they're almost
Yeah.
all technically the same. But you always get that feel where you want to play a side scroller. You just I gotta
Oh,
play
because
it.
it's fast.
So
Yeah.
so I'll go pull out like that little Nintendo games or stuff, and I'll sit there and play for a little bit, and then I'm like, I'm bored. I'm gonna go back to my Xbox and play a real game.
Oh boy, just talking about this is so great. Hey, is that the on Hill's Duty? Like when Ralph gets up there to get the medal, right? Isn't it from the Allstate guy commercial that black?
That is the Allstate guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because his voice is so.
Well, we call him the
distinguished,
Allstate.
right?
We call him the Allstate guy,
But he was in
technically,
24.
well, he was in 24. He's been in television
He's in
for
a
a long
lot.
time.
Yeah, he's been in
Matter of
television
fact,
for a long time.
there's a show in the 80s I used to watch. But
Oh,
no, what was it? What was it? I had it on the tip of my tongue and I forgot the name. Buck Rogers in 23rd, 24th, 25th century, whatever it was. It was Buck Rogers. Okay,
okay.
it was an 80s show. He was a crew member on the ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see him in the background. I think it was. I don't remember if he was in the first season, but I know he's on the second. Yeah, because the second one they flew around in space on a spaceship in the second season.
Oh.
He was a crew member on the ship because I remember I saw that guy. And then I saw it years later. I was like, I know that guy.
Really?
Like I couldn't figure out where that guy was, and then I figured out the Allstate guy was on Buck Rogers. He started off. I don't know where he started, but he was on Buck Rogers long before he became the Allstate commercial guy.
Well, he's also in 24, but I never seen that show.
Yeah,
either.
well, he was the president. I think he played the president in 24.
Oh, he did. Oh,
I seen
okay.
some episodes saw him in there. I was like, yeah, I know that guy.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
I know.
Allstate guy.
It's his voice is very distinguished. So like,
Yes.
it's easy to say he's the Allstate guy because there's something that because
Well,
like
that
you
is-
said, like not a lot of people watch these TV shows.
Yeah, well,
but
it's like Sean Connery being
commercials.
James Bond. So
Yeah,
I mean,
James
he's probably thinking, I do other stuff other than Allstate, but everybody knows you as Allstate.
Yeah, it's
guy.
Allstate. Yeah,
It's like that actor that plays Mayhem. Remember?
I can't remember who Mayhem is.
Well, he was.
Oh,
He's,
the actor from
yeah.
Mayhem. Yes,
Yeah, because he's always the boyfriend on 30
and
Rock.
Dirty Rock, Dennis.
But
yes.
nobody remembers him now. He's just Mayhem.
I just love that because one of the favorite thing is like slut banger. Because there's this game attack. What? Slut banger. They don't let you have that on Xbox. But just a joke for the TV show that the Allstate. He's also Allstate. Is the Allstate Mayhem guy.
Oh, that is
Yeah, it is.
Wow, Allstate's got
Yeah.
some fame.
But you're right,
celebrity.
like that actor. I know him on Dirty Rock, right? But he's a serious actor because he was on Law and Order SVU.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
when he started
I
Law and
remember that
Order
now.
SVU.
But wow, you only remember Mayhem now.
Yeah, Mayhem. Yeah, because he's more,
Sometimes you
it's
see
more
that guy's
mainstream
side.
in the commercial that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because it's on everything.
Yeah, it's in everything. Oh,
And plus,
love
it has a
this.
little comedy behind it, so gets your attention.
you know, like this movie is so well constructed because like they show you all the stuff like how you cannot die, you cannot cross video games, right? Like they have the 80s version against like these new high def version video games, also
Yeah.
working together. I like how Fix It Felix, like even though the animation looked the same to me, right? In his eyes when he sees what's that lady's name? Sergeant Tamara, it was like,
Yeah.
wow, look at your high def graphics.
Oh,
Even though to us
But
it looks the same, to him
Yeah.
it looks totally awesome.
Yeah, but he's in love with her too.
Yes. I love
But I
that.
also
like
thought
that.
it was funny because it kept to me while they're racing. When he's teaching what's her name? Vanda. What is her?
Penelope?
Penelope. Yeah,
Penelope,
Penelope. Yeah, he's teaching Ralph is teaching her. I thought it's kind of funny because he's in Talladega Nights, and so
Yes.
is Felix.
Oh, that's right. It's Kenneth. Let's talk about 30 Rock. It's
Yeah.
Kenneth from
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, 30 Rock. Yeah, he's at they're both in Talladega Nights.
Oh, you know what? That's probably one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Yeah,
too.
who wants to go fast? I
Yes,
do.
I want to go fast. They say so many things. To this day, I still say shake and bake out of nowhere.
Yeah,
That doesn't
everybody
make
does,
sense.
and everybody loves it. Shake it,
First you
man.
shake it, then you
You
bake
bake
it.
it.
Like what's this shake and bake nonsense?
Well, the funny thing is, look, I think that does make what makes me want to ask you though. Have you ever ate shake and bake?
It's fried chicken, right? I don't know what that is.
No, it's not fried chicken. It's chicken. It's a topping. Well, it's a thing that goes on. I don't know what to say it is. Basically, you take your chicken, put it in a bag, you shake it, and then you bake it. It's baked chicken.
Oh,
But it's a coating on the chicken.
So it's a
like on the
seasoning
skin.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a season. I guess that's what we should say.
Okay.
It's a seasoning that bakes on the chicken, and then you eat it. That's good.
Oh, I bet.
I guess
So is it like
I mean-
I know we're getting off topic, but I would like.
That's
to
all
know,
right. Let's do
But
this.
it's like
because
I guess a southern thing. Southern
that's what I'm
white
wondering
thing?
if it
Okay.
is.
Because it's like they said.
Hey,
it
why
in a
did it have to be?
NASCAR
Why did you have to
movie.
put white on there?
Because it's a NASCAR movie. Come on, majority of the NASCAR fans are very Caucasian, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't know if I said very Caucasian, but Caucasian.
I don't know, but you didn't have to go there with.
But
the
it's really
chicken
funny
eating.
though. It's probably my favorite Will Ferrell
Hold
movie
up.
of all time.
That's a lot of
I
people's favorite
love
movie.
that
Because I mean, basically anywhere if you want to if you want to just talk to movies, let's say people are kind of like, they don't want to talk or that. All you have to do is like say shake or bake or
No.
something like that, and everybody will look at you
Yeah.
and go, I love Talladega Nights.
The other thing is like I say baby Jesus to this day. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
baby
everybody
Jesus.
says basic. Everybody says baby Jesus.
I make
I
all
work-
the money. I
Almost-
sing grace.
That's funny. It's like everywhere I've ever worked, if you just say baby Jesus, everybody knows what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
everybody knows. Like everybody knows.
Yeah, everybody knows shake and bake, baby Jesus.
Applebee's.
And a lot of people love the Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh, I love Walker Texas Ranger.
You say the Walker Texas Ranger. Everybody's
Dr. Quinn
looking at
and
you.
Medicine
Woman.
I don't know why I love that movie so much. Like
Hey, we got to do that movie then.
we do because like that movie is from 2007. Or
And
8, I
everybody,
can't remember.
and just about everybody's seen it. Even if you don't like Will Ferrell,
Yeah, even
that's
though you
the
don't
movie.
like Will Ferrell, right? It's
That's
a
the movie I
great
watch.
movie.
even though I have met some people that are so stuck up they didn't like that movie. I'm like, damn, you really got issues. You need to go
Really?
see a therapist if you didn't like
The
it.
Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Talladega
Yeah.
Nights. Oh,
Yeah, if you don't like Talladega Nights, you might need to see it.
And then, like, the other biggest line, right? One of the other guys that I say, hey, and I say this with all due respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't let you
I
say
love
whatever
that.
you want.
Well,
to listen to.
and that's the thing. That movie and that line came out just for the right time. Because remember, everybody used to say that.
Yeah, but all
Like
due
everybody,
respect.
because one annoys me is that everybody goes literally.
Yeah,
I'm
literally,
like,
with all
just
due
quit it. Just quit it.
Oh, I love Talladega Nights. Yeah, I haven't met, like, even my cousin who doesn't like comedies enjoy Talladega Nights. It's just something in that movie that works so well. It's like, hey, from now on, it's going to be El Diablo and the Magic Man. Wow, that's so cool. What does that mean? I think it's like in Spanish mean chicken or something.
All right, well, let's get back to our movie before we.
Yeah, you know
Before
what?
people are confused
I'm
what
so
we're
glad
watching.
you talk about John C. Reilly, because sometimes I forget that it's the voice of the Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like-
I don't ever forget it because I just love John C. Reilly. Everything he does is so funny.
Even I know, and he's a serious actor.
And I also want to point out though, because since we already hit Talladega Nights,
Mhm.
he was also Days of Thunder.
Oh yes.
You remember? He
He's
was
also
a
in Days of
serious
Thunder,
actor. Though.
yes.
He was
Oh,
a serious actor,
He's
but
been
I'm
a
like,
serious actor for a long time.
So he's
actually.
always let me put it this way. Not only did he teach Vanellope how to drive, he taught Tom
Tom
Cruise,
Cruise how to drive.
Yeah, right. He actually did.
And you know what?
He did
Isn't
go with
John
it.
C. Reilly in 2 or 3 Martin Scorsese movies? Like he was in The Aviator. He's in
Oh, he was an
Gangs
Aviator. He
of
was
New
awesome.
York. And no, I think maybe just these two.
That's the only ones I remember. I remember he's in the Aviator for sure.
Yeah, Aviator. Yeah, he was also he's a serious actor.
Oh yeah, he's a serious actor, but
It's just because comedy.
comedy's where everybody remembers him
He
now.
kind of reminds me of like maybe a young Leslie Nielsen, because
I
he
would
does
go
the
with that. I'm
yeah
cool with that.
yeah
Yeah,
because he plays a very serious, like to him is a serious role in a comedic movie.
yeah, in a
Yeah,
comedic movie. Yeah,
the
he's
timing
the
doesn't have to be there. It's just because the
yeah.
mannerism he
I
puts
mean,
into it
yeah,
is
and
so great.
I mean, the thing is, he's silly. I mean, you're just looking at him. He's silliest looking guy and everything, but he's acting
Yes,
like
it's so
this is my world and everything's normal.
and I like you know how all these animated like characters kind of like model after the voice actor, and Wreck-It
Yeah.
Ralph
Oh, I
looks
loved it. I love
so great like him.
what
You
was
know?
him that especially between him and Penelope.
Oh
The all
yes,
the language, the body language, and all that was great.
it
Especially when
is.
she's like giving him all the trouble.
Yes,
She's
like
trying to
what are
want.
you
She
here?
wants stuff.
I'm from the tree trimming company. So where's everybody else? Oh, everybody else had the day off. It's just me today.
I know. I know. She goes. So do you mean the royal
The
we?
royal, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Sarah Silverman, but she's so great in this movie.
This is probably one of her best. I'd say this is her best role.
This is her best role.
Because I don't know. She takes the act. She takes a lot of crappy acting characters. She
I think it's
creates a
because
lot
what
of
she can fit in, so I do understand that. Like
probably.
like
But
what
I
her
remember.
agency
Yeah. If you look at
did.
all the movies she was in, her characters weren't really all that great.
No,
This is her
because she's not
best
one of
character she
the.
ever had.
I guess I would say like she's not one of the prettier looking comedians, so they don't put her in a lot of stuff. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Jean Garofalo,
But it may
right?
also be the stuff you pay. Oh, I love Gene Garofalo.
Yeah, it's because you don't see her a lot either. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you
Like,
don't.
yeah,
But
but I
Mystery
like her
Man.
too. Yeah, I like
Mystery
her too.
Man.
Yep. And they actually make fun of Hollywood a lot. They even say it out loud, because I don't look pretty like you, so I don't get all
Yeah.
these big roles.
I always
No,
thought
yeah.
they were kind of. I always thought they were attractive.
And I like Jane Lynch.
Yeah, she's
Obviously.
crazy.
She's fun. And my favorite guy is always Kenneth from Dirty Rock, because he's so off
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah, his body language is really good too.
Oh,
the
yes.
the best, because that's I mean, I would say the next body language is between Ralph and Penelope. Then the best other scene where you see all the body language and stuff, it's really going really good. It's where Felix has to tell Ralph that he's not supposed to be at this party, but he invites him anyways. Remember in the deal, and he's got he keeps putting his hands in there and go,
like,
well, they're both standing there. Well, he goes, oh, cake. I would like to try cake. You know what it reminds me? Seinfeld. Very Seinfeld.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, it was very Seinfeld.
It's the mannerism in
all the
Felix.
mannerisms and the way they talk, because they're trying to make a conversation, but they're trying to like act like nothing's going on, even though Ralph's like, I want in the party, and he's like, I don't want you at the party, and they're like, oh, cake. Nobody ever throws out cake at the dump. He goes, it sounds just like a Seinfeld deal. He goes,
It does.
yeah, cake. It must be so good because I never see that at the dump. Nobody ever throws out cake. I would really like to try this cake. And he finally goes, so would you like to come in and have a
Yeah,
slice?
it's very Seinfeld.
Yes, it was very Seinfeld.
Like, he want to be nice. He doesn't want to be the jerk.
Yeah, well, because he's not the jerk.
He's not the jerk. He's the nice guy.
Angry Gene's the jerk.
Yes. What are you doing here, Gene?
Yeah, what are you doing here, Gene?
I always like to say it like that. Every time I see a character named like a person named Gene, right? I have to say that line.
Yeah,
what are you
but
doing
I mean,
here?
this is a pretty good movie because he wants to get out. He wants to be loved or something.
Yeah, he wants to be accepted.
And
yes.
but he also takes some of his stuff for granted. And not until he gets all the way and sees Vanellope getting beat up and stuff.
Oh, that's what. Yeah,
he realizes. He realizes he actually has it pretty good. She don't, because she can't even leave her game. She can't do nothing.
I know they use that glitch thing really well, effectively, right? This is
the
only movie that they wrote about video games that they did the glitch so well.
Yeah,
and because like of what Turbo did to mess her up, right? Because Vanellope is not even supposed to be a glitch. It happened that way because of programming.
Yeah, well, because he broke all the which is neat because you could say he broke all the strings.
Yes, which is how they do it.
To tie her into the game.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you use a string for programming.
And it's really crazy. Like a lot of this movie now that I think about it, right? You should have known King Candy was the bad guy because like why is it of all the
Yeah,
characters?
well, that's
right?
the thing. You
he
know
went
it.
into the memory.
When they show Turbo, when they show him popping up in the game, you kind of get an idea that's King
Yeah,
Candy.
see, I know.
Right then, you're sitting there going, "Huh, that looks familiar." All of a sudden,
because the big old head and
but the thing is, a lot of this stuff did remind me of other movies. You know, because when she's racing King Candy, Penelope is, and she's going through the snow deal, that reminded me of Speed Racer. Remember Speed Racer? Yes. I'm talking about the cartoon either. I'm talking about the live action.
The live action by the Matrix
Brothers. I would like to do that one too. Yeah, the Matrix Brothers. We're going to go, the Matrix Sisters now?
The Matrix family.
The Matrix family.
Wachowski's family, not
the Wachowski family.
Yes.
Well, they're a little bit of everything now. Whatever. Transcend and whatever they're in. Okay. But anyways, that reminded me of that. Remind me a lot of that movie, which is a good movie too. Which I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm a fan.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna do Solo soon, and I watched it recently. Like, I don't know why people don't like this movie.
Because they're losers.
We'll save that for a different
time. Oh, they probably just didn't even see it.
Yeah, maybe they hate on it already.
I think a lot of people just didn't see it.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you saw it, you'd be like,
all right, but we'll save that because we were gonna do Solo.
Yeah, I don't even know why you went and jumped into Solo.
But like, yeah, we're talking about like
nothing in this movie remind me of Solo.
Yeah. No. This is a very great movie. Go ahead. I forgot where we were.
Oh, I'm just saying. I was just talking about some of the movies that this remind me of.
Oh, okay. Well, the glitch was really good. Like we were talking about how people should have known that King Candy was Turbo. I did also like the. I did like the connection.
It's not you should know. It's the thing. It's the relevation. It makes you. I like the way they played off to make you go. Everybody goes. Yeah, why didn't we see that? Yes. But they made sure you didn't see it. And that's the greatest thing about it. I love movies. I love movies where you get halfway through and all of a sudden, boom, how could I not see this? You know?
Yes.
How did you not figure this out?
I did like how Felix explains to the Tamora, right? What's her name? Tamora. The Tamora Jean Calhoun, that's what they call her. He explained to you, oh, that's right, you're new, so you never heard about the story of Turbo.
Yeah, because
so I like the explanation there too. But like, so I did like that King Candy never dies because he's the king. So he got to make sure that he's in a position where he won't get knocked out in a racing game. So he plays himself perfectly.
Yeah, he's right there. Yeah, he's always in there. He's in control of the deal. And the thing is, I always wonder, the people at the arcade, because it says new players daily, there's really never any new players because other people can't play.
Yes.
So I'm like, that's weird.
And I thought like how they wrote that, like, oh, she's the glitch. If she entered the race, we might go down and like.
Yeah. I like it when he gives him this gold deal and tells him the story, and then he has to wreck the car.
Oh, that is so good.
Save her. Oh. Yeah, he has to be the bad guy to save her. But then he goes back. Of course, I like it when he goes back and he sees her picture on the side of the arcade cabinet.
Yeah, but he was like, why is there a picture of her on the game if she's not supposed to be there? I was like, then you realize that's the part where like. So what the heck happened? It's basically because they give away that they didn't know that was Turbo.
Yeah,
which is funny because like when they see each other, right? Like I would thought Ralph or Felix would recognize like, hey, King Candy looks like Turbo.
Yeah, but they may not have been. They may not have really known Turbo either because it might have been before his time when he jumped out of the game and they thought he just disappeared.
And I like that they named him Turbo because it's one of the features that, in a game, like, oh, you use Turbo. Just like,
well, they used to call everything Turbo.
You're not going Turbo, are you?
But, Turbo, the thing is, after his game got plugged, he's probably been hiding in all kinds of games.
Oh, yeah, but no.
Because you got to think Candy Rush was newer later on. So he probably so he would have been running around hiding in games and probably learning their codes.
Oh, and that's why he gets to do that.
Yeah, and finally got in that game and said, I could stay here forever.
Wow, so he's a brilliant programmer, too. He's smart.
Yeah, so he's been jumping around in games until he got eaten up by the virus.
Oh,
which, by the way, when it gets eaten up by the virus, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
Lost in Space, the movie Lost in Space. Remember when Dr. Smith turns into that bug?
Yes.
I was like, they look the same. Also kind of remind me of Beetlejuice a little bit, too, but...
Yes, it does. I did like that they wrote into the hero's duty that those bugs takes the form of whatever they consume.
Yeah,
so it make like King Candy even more powerful. But then the weakness is all the bugs as they go towards the light.
Yeah,
and
like moss.
So I'm gonna tell you, Shane, I did cry at this movie the first time I saw it because I did like how they used the speech at the beginning, right? Hey, I'm a bad guy, and that's good, and I'll never be good, and that's not that bad. You know, it's just something simple, like 5 little lines, right?
Yeah,
it was because the sacrifice he was giving. He knew that, like, if I do this, right, there's a great chance that I will die, and then you know from the beginning that if you die in someone else's game, you won't come back. And then they were also at the same time, they had that sticker on, hey, sorry, I'm out of commission. And they're like, well, now that their Wreck-It Ralph, not Wreck-It Ralph game, it's called Fix It Felix Jr.
Yeah,
they might never come back, and I was like, wow, this is a really sad moment in a video game based movie like this I ever seen in my life. I think it's also obviously like any movie that you feel that's good, right? Like Fight Club for me is how that movie make that person feel like towards things, you know?
Yeah.
So dude, I still cry when I watch it this week at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so good, and I like how they wrote the thing is like, hey, all Penelope has to do is she has to cross the finish line, and then the program will fix itself.
Yeah, it just starts the game over, fixes the world.
Because like, oh, she's supposed to be here. Like, where the hell?
That is like a lot of games though. You know, you'll play like a lot of race games where you wreck and destroy all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
As soon as you win or finish the game, it starts over. Nothing's wrecked. Yeah, nothing's wrecked or damaged.
I love that. Like, dude, these guys are. They picked the right persons to write these kind of movies.
Oh yeah,
like, it's based on video games.
The thing is though,
video games.
This was a better video because you could say this was a movie based on video games and not a video game movie.
Yes.
You know, because most video game movies they
like
suck.
Sonic, Super Mario Brothers, like Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat was a good one.
There are some good ones out there. Well, Mortal Kombat I like, but it wasn't that good a movie.
No, but it was better than like Street Fighter, like compared to like Super Mario Brothers. Like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
But there's not a lot of hits. So like until recently, like I said before, those guys are our age now, so they make a very decent video game movie. Like when I saw Sonic, I came out all mad, right? Like, why didn't I get this when I was my son's age? Like, dude, the Sonic movie was actually very well done. And then when I come out, like, to this day, I still haven't seen Super Mario Brothers. I tried, right? And you know me, when I get started for a movie, I have to finish it. I started it, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Like, the whole movie is like, I'm constipated, even though I'm not, right? But the movie is making me feel that way. And, like, Heather and Ethan comes in like, Daddy, what are you watching? Like, I'm watching this movie called Super Mario Brothers. And then they were looking at it like, how is this Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, they're probably like, why are you still sitting there watching it?
Because, like,
you don't have to.
I don't have to, but the other Super Mario Brothers movie is going to come out soon. And I'm definitely going to see that because Sonic did so well. And, like,
why ruin it? Why ruin anything? I mean, you'll just have this little part in your heart that's going to be rotten.
You see it as ruining it, right? But I see it in a way like if I watch that old one, I believe that I'll appreciate this new one even more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like
you probably will. Yeah, I get that.
I probably appreciate the trailers now. I haven't seen the movie. I haven't finished the 1990 Super Mario Brothers. I feel that way now. The movie haven't even come up for another couple of weeks. But like, you're right. This is probably one of the best video game based movies that's not based on an actual video game.
Yeah,
and I think they got it correct. That's why they did it this way.
And I think the way this movie was made, I think Ready Player One took a lot from this.
Oh, I believe so too. Maybe Player
not,
One,
but I would think so. Because I mean, even Spielberg, he's a video game fan. So.
Yeah.
So I think he probably saw the movie and goes, yeah, I could do something like that.
Yeah, I could do something like that, but like live action.
Yeah, live action.
And you know what?
Which really wasn't all live action either.
Hold on, before we get to that, right? I know at the end I know your personality, so I know that you love this because I loved it. So when everybody realized she's the princess of the whole thing, and when Penelope wanted to execute everybody, I laughed so hard because this came out from a Disney movie. Like, I would never imagine they would let someone in Disney like, I'm going to execute everyone.
Yeah, you know that, but I like there's all the characters' faces. Of course, Calhoun.
They were so mean to her.
Oh, I also love Calhoun's reaction because this game's starting to get interesting.
That's interesting. Yes, because the feeling's like, oh, mine.
Yeah,
I was executed. That is so great.
Well, she was talking like she was a royal person.
No, she wasn't because she was
Because
like
royal
Oscar
people.
the
Because
Grouch.
well, that's used to the joke though. Most royal people don't execute them.
Yeah, yep, I know that was a really good joke.
I love it. Yeah, they're all crying.
It's kind of like I don't know if you ever listened to that Chappelle stand up, right? Like you know when it's kind of like this, like when we were kids, right? We never thought about these characters in the situations they were in until we're older. So one of the prime examples that he's talking about is like, hey, when I was watching it as a kid, right? It's different from obviously my opinion as an adult now. My main example is Oscar the Grouch. Like Oscar the Grouch live in a trash can, right? And everybody treat this character like crap. Like, oh, you're such a grouch, Oscar. Why are you such a grouch? Yeah, you're so mean. Hey, man, I live in a freaking trash can.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the poorest guy on Sesame Street, and nobody's helping me.
Yeah, nobody loves me. Well, that's the way. I mean, that's kind of the way that
definitely
all these other characters. Yeah, she was like that. Well, the thing is, she actually mirrored Ralph. You know.
Oh,
in a way, because he lived in a dump. He got kicked out of his area.
Oh, yes.
Because when they get the storyline, which is by the storyline, I'm like,
yes.
the people in his game are actually the villains because they kicked him out of his deal, threw him in the dump, and then they built their house and didn't even do anything for him.
No, they just.
But I also do like it though. I do like it when it comes to her world. You know, he goes, "I live a dump," and she goes, "Oh, that's gonna be awesome."
Oh
he's
yes.
Like,
I love that part. Yes.
He goes, "No, what?" Then he goes to see where she lives, and he's like, "You live in here with all this trash by yourself?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, it's great."
Yes.
And he's thinking, "I do." He's thinking, "I live in the trash with nobody."
Yeah,
it's not so great.
I love this movie. Yeah, and I like
so
that
basically, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It goes from him wanting to help himself to him meeting somebody worse off than him, like him.
That's one
of
the
him wanting
things.
him wanting to help them, so he becomes their hero.
Yes, he becomes a hero without realizing it.
So yeah, he goes to the candy game, and he becomes the hero of that game instead of the villain in that game.
Yeah, because they talk like, well, Vanellope does that. You always be my hero because he did that for her.
Yeah,
you know, like building the car, destroying it, like realizing that, like you said, she was in its worst situation. She didn't even realize it, but she didn't take it for granted.
Yeah,
you know, like all the other characters treat her like crap.
The funny thing is, she's supposed to be the main character of the game.
Yeah, she's supposed to be the main character of the game. That's the only thing that's difference between her and Ralph.
Yeah, yeah, because he was always supposed to be the villain, and she was supposed to be one of the kind of the hero.
Yes, the main. And
he goes and saves it. Yeah, he goes and saves her.
And like, I don't think she was a playable character, but then after that, right, she is a playable character.
Well, she was always during that time when the Turbo took over. Well, apparently she was a playable character. Turbo got in there, locked everybody's memories and stuff, so they forgot about her.
I love that they used the RAM thing. Yes.
So he took her spot.
Yes.
Until he restored her. So she was always supposed to be a playable character, but
you know what? This movie, like, I would like to shake everyone's hand that had involvement in this movie.
I don't know. I saw the credits on this movie. There's a lot of people. Hands with.
Well, at least the writers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the writers
did
a tremendous job, you know?
Yeah, they did a good job.
I mean, like, it'll be a long time before you and I will see something as great as this as animation.
I hope not. But I would say so. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're probably big.
Big Hero 6 is good, but it's not as good as
no.
And that came out after.
I would say Big Hero 6 would probably be third on my list of animated.
Animation? What's your second?
Oh, my second is Wreck-It Ralph.
What's your first? Wall-E.
First is Wall-E.
Yeah, Wall-E.
I don't know though. This would almost replace Wall-E on my list.
Oh, this replaces. Oh, that's hard. This is probably
a hard one
on my list. Yeah.
This is a hard one. But this might
is my favorite
Wall-E.
computer animated movie.
So you like it more than Wall-E?
Oh, I like this more than Wall-E because Wall-E is just a simple love story, right? But this touches every single point with the hero, with the video game.
This is why I would probably say this is almost beats Wall-E too for me.
Yeah, because it has so many elements that Wall-E didn't even get close to touching.
Yeah. Well, because they're robots and they didn't have all this stuff.
Yep.
Well, other things are just video games, but oh well.
Hey, I love video games.
I love video games to a point.
Yeah, I mean, like
I love a lot of things too. Hey, I like too many.
You know, on my other channel, right? I'm already more than halfway done with the whole NES library, and I'm so proud of myself because, like, I never thought I would be able to play almost every single Nintendo game like in the US, you know,
Wow.
but without
Yeah.
like me doing it every week, like, yeah, I mean, a lot of them are not good.
Oh yeah. A lot of
But then it makes me think like, why was this game made? Like, it's gotta hit a certain like percentage of people, right? I play a game called North and South. Obviously, it's about the Civil War, right?
yeah.
For me, even as a little kid, I would not like that game. But as I'm older, like, okay, I could understand why they did this game. But then I'm thinking, why did they do this game when I was that age? Like, what were they
Yeah.
trying to do?
But they were probably aimed at older people
They tried to,
because
but I
it's a
don't think they
strategy
did
game.
so
Because
well. No, it's a strategy game.
there's several games, there's strategy games. I like the strategy games on Nintendo, but they still weren't as easy to use as they should have been, like they
No,
are on
because
a
that's
computer or
controller
a board
limitation.
game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I play
But
Monopoly. I play those kind of board games on there. Like
yeah, there's certain games, yeah, they just didn't transfer regular
yeah,
to
they
Nintendo. But that's
tried
the
though.
problem is I think they're trying to widen the audience.
Yes, they
I'm
have
sure
to
that's what
because they
they're
gotta
for.
market to everyone.
Yeah, because North and South that would have been like, here's a good strategy game for people who like war games.
Yeah.
It's probably the draw in people that play war games on computers and stuff. Go, hey, come over to Nintendo. Why don't you play it here?
Yep.
Probably, but the thing it never worked, and that's why you only see like because I know there's another war game that's it's I can't remember what it's called.
Oh really?
You should already went through it. I think you
Yeah.
got to North and
Oh, I
South.
went into some of the strategy games, and and I could understand it, but then hey, maybe I'm not in that audience they trying to hit. They only got me with like Mega Man and
Oh yeah,
Legend of
Mega Man.
Zelda and like Mario stuff.
Yeah, but they wanted more.
Yep. Hey, you know
I
what?
mean, come
Speaking of
on.
Mega Man, Mega Man is probably one of the best soundtracks I ever heard in a video game for that era. Remember, a
Okay.
lot of video games, right? They basically a lot of them play the same tune over and over. Even
Yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
first Super Mario Brothers, it have like maybe four
Yeah.
tunes:
Well, I don't know.
underwater,
It depends on
underground,
some of them.
castle, land.
To me though, the best soundtrack, or I'm gonna say the best soundtrack, because it only had one song or two songs. You played it over and over
Yeah,
again, but I still love it. Overlord.
Overlord. Yes.
Oh man, I love that
Ever
song.
since you told me that, if you YouTube that, someone put the intro song like they play for an hour.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
can listen to it for hours. I'm
yeah.
like, this is just
It's
awesome. It
because
just picks
something
you.
it gets you like it's something
It's
you play
funny.
a
Yeah,
lot.
it picks you up. That's what it's like. They set this because I remember when I rented it, played it, and played that music, and I was like, all right. I even taped it. I taped it onto a cassette tape because that's what I had.
Oh
The only way I
yes,
could do
I
it
remember
and
those
play it
days.
because that pumps you up and you pumps you up, and then you play the game. The game sucks. The game sucks, man. I think it was hard. I think I played it recently and understood it a little bit better and kind of liked it a little bit, but it's a strategy game too. It's still missing stuff.
Oh,
You know, they could take that game and make it better now. But the problem is back then I didn't know how to play it, didn't have an instruction book,
oh,
didn't have understand the concepts of it. It's still hard to play now. I try to play it again. But I'm like I got all pumped up and then I play the game. I was like, okay, I only gonna rent this game for the song and that's it.
oh my gosh. That's
The gameplay just wasn't that good.
that's the other thing that I come across on my channel when I'm playing these games, right? Without the instruction booklet, a lot of times I don't know what to do because sometimes the
Yeah.
instruction booklets kind of act like a strategy guy.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
thing is, if it's a side scroller, okay, cool, jump. You
Yep.
push this button, jump stuff. But on a game where you got like a menu and in each screen, all the buttons do something different. You'll go to this
Yes.
screen. And then that's the thing. You won't know what screens are there sometimes if you don't know what buttons to push.
One of the like games like that, like it's kind of a game like a point and click adventure game, right? Like you're
Yeah.
supposed to play with keyboard and mouse, but since the Nintendo only has like 8 buttons, up, down, left,
Yeah.
right, slash, stop, B, A,
Yeah.
you can only do so much.
Yeah. You can only do so much. So you're missing a lot of things because you're like,
Yes.
oh, well, you could hit the start button here
Mm.
and then you got to go down this screen and do this
And
button.
sometimes you have to hit up start, up A, up B, like a direction. Like you
Yeah.
gotta do a combination just to make up for the missing buttons that we didn't have back in the day. Now it's like, dude, they have a button for every single of your fingers.
And triggers too.
Yeah, triggers. Like my gosh, I do enjoy retro gaming a lot. Like some of the old games, like I still love. That
I do
think
every
so,
now
like,
and then. That just and then I like. I mean, I got to get my fix. I get on there and play for a few minutes, and I'm like, all right, I'm back. I'm ready to go back. Play an old Atari game. I'm like, yep, I remember it sucked back then.
one of the old games that I can still play to this day, right, is Tetris. Like even on a
Oh, I could play
Nintendo or the
Tetris.
Game Boy,
I could play Tetris on any.
Hey, which is they made a movie about Tetris, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
about
The creation of
the
Tetris
creation
is
of
what's-
Tetris, which
It's not
I
about.
watched a YouTube video recently. Like I didn't know it came from Russia.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
it's a Russian programmer.
Yeah, that's why they always play that Russian music.
Yeah, well, I don't know that Russian music.
Well, it
man.
wasn't really Russian. It's everywhere, but the composer was from Russia for a lot of music.
Oh, okay. But that's
I don't think all. I
interesting.
think they eventually got dropped all that, but yeah, Tetris eventually came that. That's why when you see the Tetris game, it always showed Moscow. on
The Moscow,
cover.
yeah, I didn't know that either. So I make that connection
That's
now.
good.
Like, oh, it makes so much sense. So I can't wait to see that. So that's gonna be good. Well, I'm hoping that would be good. He looks like a
It isn't
thriller.
looking. Yeah, it don't look interesting to me, but
Yeah.
I'll let you watch it and you tell me.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know the actors, so we'll have to see. Unlike Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, we know all the actors.
Hey, I just want to point out that I'm wearing a Wreck-It Ralph shirt. It says "I'm gonna wreck it," which is I bought it at the movie theater. What's the movie? The Cinema. And then Shane is wearing a Flint's arcade game because this movie is about video games, and we'll wrap it up right here.
So I had to represent Tron one
That's
way
right.
or another.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.